Taiwan moved to stop buying Papua New Guinea's natural gas as bilateral relations sour. As Taiwan prepares for its annual Hanguang exercise, this year's drills will test troops with more realistic and unpredictable scenarios.
没有剧本，也没有按照所有的时序去进行。
A government investigation uncovers critical food safety risks. Plus, Taipei's metro is getting an upgrade, with the first of 10 new high-capacity trains unveiled ahead of the Xinyi Line extension. A warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Betty Chen. Taiwan's Foreign Ministry says that it will stop buying some liquefied natural gas from Papua New Guinea as ties between the two countries deteriorate. Leslie Liao has more.
Taiwan is ceasing some fuel purchases from Papua New Guinea in response to the Pacific Island nation's order to close Taiwan's representative office there. Taiwan is one of the largest importers of Papua New Guinea's liquefied natural gas, buying more than 1.8 million tons last year. It will now stop buying LNG from them on the spot market.
我方目前呢已经盘点我对巴纽的依位跟农业相关的援助规模，以及对该国 LNG 的购买额度，并已正式的停止向巴纽采购现货的天然气。
The spot market is only for purchases with immediate delivery and payment. Taiwan still has long-term contracts to import LNG from Papua New Guinea, and limiting sources from any specific country under those contracts would require further negotiations. An analyst said the move to limit only spot market purchases may have a limited effect on PNG's calculus.
What this does is it says we're not going to buy anything above what we contracted to buy. So if we have any extra demand, we'll get it from Qatar or we get it from Australia or the US rather than from you guys. So it's not great for Papua New Guinea, but it's certainly not going to cause them to lose too much sleep.
Taiwan has rejected the order to close its Papua New Guinea office, which continues to operate. The office is still communicating with PNG officials in an attempt to stabilize ties. At the same time, Taiwan's foreign ministry is working with like-minded partners on the issue. It is also considering other measures to respond to Papua New Guinea's decision. So far, Taipei has not announced any further countermeasures, but it says it will continue to reevaluate ties as the situation develops. Justin Wu and Leslie Liao in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan will soon host its largest annual Hanguang military exercise. As LNU reports, this year's drills place more emphasis on civil-military cooperation, including an internet disruption drill.
Taiwan's annual Hanguang military exercise will begin next Wednesday, with a strong focus this year on urban resilience drills. Hanguang 42, Taiwan's largest military exercise of 2026, will simulate a scenario where China turns military drills into an actual attack, testing Taiwan's rapid response capabilities. This year's exercise will also expand urban resilience drills from 1 day to 2, with greater coordination with civilians. For the first time, the armed forces will also conduct a communications disruption drill in northern and central Taiwan, simulating slower internet speeds. The exercise is expected to affect around 17 million people, almost 3/4 of the population, raising public concerns about daily life and why only certain parts of the country were selected. Officials say the impact on essential public services will be minimal.
我们的演练这个时间的规划基本上还是基于通讯流量、人口密度的整体考量。演习的期间，政府将确保重要的公共服务不受影响。
The exercise follows 2 rounds of military drills held in June and July. Officials say those exercises were mainly designed to familiarize troops with the operational environment, while August Hanguang exercise will feature more unpredictable scenarios that better reflect real combat.
没有剧本，也没有按照所有的时序去进行，所以所有的磨练都是取决于所有干部对于临机状况的应处。
The Coast Guard will also take part in the exercise alongside the Navy. practicing how it would transition from peacetime to wartime operations, including refitting its vessels for military use. The military says drones will play a critical role this year, with unmanned systems being used for battlefield reconnaissance. The drills will also test inter-city mobilization and reinforcement, as well as convoy escort operations under a simulated blockade. This year's drills continue to emphasize unscripted scenarios and include more participation from civilians. As Taiwan continues to face growing military pressure from China, exercises like these are aimed at testing the country's ability to protect its people. Fu Hua Hong and Ella Lu in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's military plans to acquire more than 200 new upgraded variants of the domestically made Clouded Leopard armored vehicle. A Defense Ministry procurement list says 235 of the new combat vehicles will be produced between next year and 2033. The upgraded Clouded Leopard has a remote-controlled turret with an automatic grenade launcher and machine gun. It has improved targeting capabilities tested against aerial drones. The vehicles are part of the Army's 5-year force restructuring plan. Taiwan stock market opened down on Tuesday, seeing losses widen in early trading. Taiwan's benchmark index, the TAIEX, closed down 4.65% as AI-related stocks were heavily sold off. It comes amid concerns about the massive funding demand spurred by the AI boom. Across the region, Japan's Nikkei slid more than 4% and South Korea's KOSPI dropped more than 10%. NVIDIA is working on AI deals worth more than $750 billion, but some investors are worried about circular financing, where NVIDIA helps fund very companies that buy its chips. They said it could artificially inflate the market. To assess the risks, our reporter Lily Lamartina spoke to Rolf Volk, head of semiconductor and infrastructure at Futurum Group.
NVIDIA is in the headlines for striking massive deals, including with SK Group involving memory chips and OpenAI for a data center project. Can you talk to us about the significance of these deals?
It has been a flurry of deals over the last few weeks, but I do think that we should separate the types of deals that are being made. You know, on one hand, you have deals such as between Broadcom and Samsung, and such as between NVIDIA and SK Hynix, which are really supplier deals first and foremost. And on the other hand, you have deals such as announced or rumored yesterday between NVIDIA and OpenAI. Now, these are deals in which NVIDIA is essentially backstopping OpenAI, i.e. guaranteeing some of the obligations of OpenAI. And that is a very different type of deal than the ones that we have seen between SK and NVIDIA and Broadcom and Samsung. And it is those latter deals that investors are more concerned about.
Now, these deals are also raising concerns over what's known as circular financing. Can you explain to our audience what that means and why NVIDIA's deals are drawing scrutiny?
So in a nutshell, circular financing here means that the supplier of the chips, NVIDIA, is at the same time financing the purchase of those chips, i.e. a circular dynamic. And the concern here is that ultimately, if these chips, these GPUs, do not generate the return that is required, that NVIDIA will be left holding the bag, since they are guaranteeing these investments. And if OpenAI cannot guarantee the investments, then it will be NVIDIA that will have to put up the money. Now, of course, the whole premise here, the only instance in which this becomes a issue is if demand for AI is not materializing.
So the concern is that some of this demand may be being manufactured through the deals themselves. How concerned should investors be?
I do think that compute demand continues to outweigh supply. You know, we've seen Google last week increasing their capex budget for 2026 by another 15 billion. They're now set to spend over 200 billion in 2026 alone. Google has very good visibility on whether those investments that they are making, whether that can be monetized or not. We've also seen TSMC and ASML over the last few weeks increase their guidance, their long-term guidance. So everything points to sustained demand for AI and for the compute that is required for AI workloads. So in that context, I'm not too concerned in the near term. Now, in the long term, of course, who knows what the world is going to look like 5 years from now.
That was Rolf Bolk of the Futurum Group. China has reportedly started making its own advanced chip-making machines for domestic chip producers, according to media outlet The Information. Their reporting says China has begun to make lithography machines which print chip patterns onto silicon wafers. These include both deep ultraviolet or DUV and extreme ultraviolet or EUV systems. Dutch manufacturer ASML has long dominated both kinds of lithography. The company's shares dropped 4.6% following the report, but China's new systems are reportedly still behind ASML on performance and reliability. The move comes as China tries to build its own chip-making ecosystem as U.S. restrictions limit access to advanced tools. Taiwanese prosecutors have detained another suspect in an AI smuggling case. Media reports say the NVIDIA employee is part of a probe into the illegal sale of servers containing NVIDIA AI chips to China. Multiple people are being held over this case, but this appears to be the first known legal action against an NVIDIA employee. He's being detained on allegations of falsifying documents. NVIDIA has not commented on the matter. The government is warning about a new Chinese platform promoting exchanges, education, and internship opportunities for Taiwanese young people in China.
以青年的失业率来讲，还有以工作的这个条件跟环境来讲，台湾都比中国大陆好太多了哦，没有必要打肿脸充胖子，硬是要用这种服务台青的这种做法，其实就是要来遂行他统战的目的，或者是要收集我们年轻朋友的个资哦，把个人的完整的资料，然后来提供给中共来去做利用的话，这些都应该要去谨慎的去评估。
The Mainland Affairs Council, which handles relations with China, says the website is part of Beijing's efforts to influence Taiwanese youth. With local elections approaching, the government says it will be monitoring whether this website and other United Front activity are being used to sway voters. Coming up after the break, raging wildfires are tearing across Spain and France, forcing mass evacuations.
There's so many things that I wish the world could see.
It is amazing to watch this captain maneuver this giant ship.
It takes 3 days to cook this. The flavor is unbelievable, incredible.
And it's my turn to make something inspired by Chef Gore. It's going to be quite a challenge.
Can you imagine that?
It's surreal. Yes, so real. I can't give up. I got some ass kicking to do.
Nice move.
We're pushing each other to explore and experiment in new, different ways.
5, 4, 3, 2.
A warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News.
Exploring the issues that matter to you.
Not just to Taiwan, the whole world is watching.
很多时候是我们眼睛看不到的地方。
We might encounter mishaps and mistakes along the way. But at the end of the day,
it just transmits something straight from the heart. Yes.
Cheers.
Bon appetit. It is about the fun, and it's about the glamour, and it's also about something much deeper than that.
Sometimes you just gotta seize the opportunity. You just gotta do it.
Have a place where you're appreciated for you exactly as you are, and where you can shine and be seen.
For more stories from Taiwan and around the world, download the TaiwanPlus app and follow us on social media.
For more stories from Taiwan and Geneva, download the TaiwanPlus app or follow us on social media.
Welcome back. You're watching Taiwan Plus News. Taiwan President Lai Ching-te says the country is ready to assist Japan after a magnitude 7.1 earthquake hit Kumamoto. Thousands of households in southern Japan have been left without power and rail services have been halted. Japan's meteorological agency has issued a tsunami warning for a wave of up to a meter in some areas. Taiwan ship giant TSMC has one plant operating in a region and a second under construction. The company says it's evacuating staff for their safety. TSMC shares fell almost $11 in pre-market trading amid worries of a possible short-term shutdown. Firefighters in Spain and France are battling powerful wildfires that have ripped across large areas, forcing mass evacuations. And with more hot weather expected, there are concerns these destructive fires may not end soon. John Venturez reports.
In eastern Spain, yet more woodland erupts into flames. Nearly 9,000 hectares have caught fire here in the province of Castellón alone amid an intense summer heat wave. And firefighters are still battling to get some kind of control. Even in spots where the fires quieted down a bit, flames still sear a path through the surrounding hills.
It was like in the movies where hell cracked the ground open and you see the red hell. That's how it was here. On Saturday night, this hill was horrific. In that area with the houses, there were flames 15 to 20 meters tall. It was an atrocity.
Elsewhere across Spain, similar scrambles to stop the worst as wildfires blaze. Here outside the capital, Madrid, an operation to stop a stubborn blaze fueled by high temperatures and ample kindling. Spanish forestry experts say, in a changing climate, more needs to be done to prepare for wildfires that simply will come more fiercely and more often.
Wildfires must be addressed throughout the entire year. It doesn't matter if it's summer or winter, continuous forest management is needed so that when a fire does occur, forests are in the best possible condition for firefighters to contain and combat it.
In neighboring France, heavy machinery tears through the vegetation by the side of a highway, a race against flames that are ripping through the Bordeaux region. These wildfires causing mass evacuations. 220,000 people here in France and around 100,000 in Spain. None of the evacuees sheltering in this Bordeaux hangar can say when it will be safe to leave or what they'll find waiting for them when they do.
Je suis étonnée, mais agréablement.
I'm pleasantly surprised because I feel we have been extremely well looked after. We have been welcomed and supported in absolutely every area we might need help. And as far as I'm concerned, having help for my animals is important.
In the city of Bordeaux itself, life goes on, but the flames are closing in, now just kilometers away. And so for officials, it's all hands on deck. President Emmanuel Macron has come to see the latest plans of action.
We must understand that we are facing a completely unprecedented wildfire. The situation we are dealing with today is the most severe we have ever recorded, the toughest since the Second World War. More than 160,000 hectares have already burned, and the season is far from over.
While a smaller fire is contained, the main blaze near Bordeaux is still ripping through wooded areas. And despite some progress, a new heat wave expected this week, combined with windy conditions, mean French firefighters face a tough campaign ahead. Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
Over the last decade, a rise in global temperatures and major weather events are having severe consequences for Taiwan's tea farmers. In this excerpt from our show, Fighting Formosa, we see how some tea producers are facing a perilous future.
Though Taiwanese tea cultivation only began in the 17th century, thousands of years later than many of its neighbors, in 1867, British merchant John Dodd launched Formosa Oolong, which soon became a global export. From New York to Paris, Taiwan earned a reputation as one of the finest tea-growing regions on Earth, practically overnight. Dodd's success drew more merchants to the island, and by the late 19th century, tea was one of Taiwan's foremost exports. This continued through the Japanese colonial period, into the post-war era, and up to the 21st century, when exports reached a record high of 23,516 tons in 2012. At this moment of triumph for Taiwanese tea, however, something strange began to happen. Beginning around 2012, rain was falling less often. Typhoons were becoming more frequent. Across the country, tea fields were drying up, trees were calcifying, and less leaf was making it to market. Over the past 100 years, Taiwan's average temperature has risen by 1.6 degrees, reaching an average of 24.97 Celsius in 2024. This is right at the very upper limit of what tea trees are designed to withstand. At the same time, freak once-in-a-century droughts have been followed by record-breaking torrents of rain from unprecedented typhoons. From their record high in 2012, exports fell more than 60% to just 7,970 tons in 2022. The Ministry of Agriculture's Tea Research Station described the impact of this climate change as akin to boiling a frog alive in warm water. Farmers are afraid that theirs will be the last generation of tea farmers in Taiwan, the trade ending with the rains.
我们现在是农业部茶及饮料作物改良厂，那我们这个是1903就成立的。以前红茶是全世界60%-70%是产红茶、喝红茶的。那因为日本人就主要是利茶为主嘛，所以当初也是要发展一个红茶试验所的。
那茶改厂其实它有针对过去100年把气象资料调出来，发现台湾的那个平地的温度或者是低海拔的温度，其实就不断的一直在上升。可是这个变化其实是它不是那么一下子让人家很明显感受的哈。所以这个温水煮青蛙的意思就是说，人可能感受不是那么强烈，可是植物比如茶树存活率就会不断的降低。
You can watch the full episode of Fighting Formosa on TaiwanPlus website. Officials in Taiwan have released the results of an investigation into a recent case of carcinogen-tainted cooking oil. They say while there's no evidence that the toxin was generated during production, some risks had been overlooked. Irene Lin reports.
In late June, the public learned that a massive batch of cooking oil laden with a toxic compound had made its way to store shelves, restaurants, and school cafeterias. Now, nearly a month later, the findings of an independent investigation into the matter have been released. According to third-party analysts, there's no direct evidence that benzopyrene, the grade 1 carcinogen found in the oil, was generated during production. But they did find multiple risk factors, such as inconsistent limits on heat-damaged soybeans.
它跟这个国家的采购合约是定5%，所以它为了要整个的一致性，把它提高到5%，所以它采购的合约是热损率5%可以接受，可是，在制程里面定的是0.5%，所以在这个地方就有点不符。
The report says soybeans imported from Brazil carry higher risks of benzopyrene, or BAP, than U.S. imports. And health officials say the lack of BAP testing before the products are shipped out is a major flaw.
好，它不等于绝对到后面的这个苯编比一定会带高，但是原料的品质是一个风险，所以必须要建立这个风险的管控机制。所以刚刚才会提到专家的建议，就是把这个热损率的比例当成是一个预警，然后让它可以做风险的分级管控。
Taiwan's cabinet has approved several amendments to a food safety law aiming to address some of the regulatory gaps. The proposal requires more frequent self-testing by food production firms, government approval for the firm's own labs, immediate reporting of irregularities, and robust third-party testing and reporting mechanisms. As for whether officials should step down for alleged neglect and cover-up, the cabinet and the Taiwan FDA stress that they have been transparent about the case and will continue to update the public while they process legal changes. Klein Wang and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
Rumia rides are coming to Taipei's metro, with the city unveiling new high-capacity trains built to tackle rush hour crowds. Reese Ayers reports.
sleeker, wider, and Korean. Taipei's metro is getting an upgrade. The city has unveiled the first of 10 new trains from South Korea's Hyundai Rotem. They're scheduled to hit the tracks by mid-2027 to support the opening of the Xinyi Line Eastern Extension.
非常开心，我们今天迎来全新的车厢，我们接下来陆续会正式的上线，来提高未来尖峰时段每一个小时增加12000多人次。
That focus on efficiency is even clearer once you step inside. Among the most obvious features is the increased space. Chairs have been pushed against the wall to increase standing space and maximize passenger flow. The new fleet introduces several smart features, including smart doors and phone charging points, designed to make daily travel safer and more comfortable.
我们增加了 AI 人工的一个辨识功能，让列车在收车的时候能够自动侦测车厢里面是不是还有旅客忘记下车。这一部分我们可以有助于避免旅客被塞运到机场这一块。
As Taipei's metro network continues to expand, city officials hope these high-capacity upgrades will keep the capital moving smoothly for years to come. Luffy Li and Reese Ayres in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching TaiwanPlus News. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today we take you to Libya's capital to enjoy the sounds of traditional Malek music at an annual festival. I'm Betty Chen. Take care and see you next time.